Let's go, Hannah!
Okay, it is time for me to get back on it. I have kind of been a little bit AWOL, and I'm probably still not talking fully normally because I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth, which was painful, I tell you. But I am now just over a week post it, and I'm getting back to being able to talk normally, if not fully normally, and eating has been a pain. But anyway, I actually coincidentally was able to time that in with my end of season break. So I've got 2 weeks of literally nothing. I've got like 3 runs in there just to keep the body going and fully reset the body and mind so I can be ready to smash it when the winter comes and hopefully stay on one piece and just go have fun and chase PBs because I'm feeling excited. As you can tell, it's literally only been a week and I just want to get back to it. But anyway, I thought I would now go and do my Q&A. So I'm going to go for a little walk and I'm going to answer some of your questions along the way. And yes, I am wearing a t-shirt with the laughing cow on it. It's my pyjama chop and I haven't got changed yet, but it's only 8:30, so I think I'm allowed. Also, when it's my end of season, I just like to do things that I can't usually do when I'm in full training, and I can't usually just lounge around in my PJs for ages because I'm getting dressed, getting out the door to go and get a session done. So yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it and I think it's stylish. Okay, we may have to go inside or rain check questions to another day because it is very windy and I don't have a fancy microphone, so I don't know how much you can hear, but I'm going to fire away anyway and I will watch it back and see if it's usable. But my previous point saying where I'm at and like I'm taking rest kind of leads well onto one of the questions that somebody asked. They asked what was my take on rest days, and honestly I feel like there's not really an opinion to be had personally. Like, I just think everybody needs rest days and rest days are so valuable. I think we always underestimate the value of doing nothing, and that is definitely something that I have found benefits me. Maybe different people respond differently to rest, but I find it really helps me and makes me be able to tolerate my training a lot better. Without them, I just seem to be a lot more injury prone. So I do take a rest day every single week and I don't do anything on that day, and I just find that keeps me feeling fresh, able to like hit my hard sessions hard. And yeah, I think, you know, I know some people who don't take them and they do find that that works better for them, and maybe in the future I won't need them as often, but I think currently on this place that I'm at where I'm quite vulnerable to injury, so you can't get my words out, with these wisdom teeth, they are essential in my weekly cycle. So my week is an 8-day cycle and I have 2 hard sessions. Like in summer they would be 2 track sessions, in the winter it would be 1 on track, 1 on grass probably with cross country, and then one's like a medium hard day. It's very small volume but it's like tempo, and then the rest would be all easy and I would have a rest day in there. My long run isn't really a long run. I don't run above 60 minutes and the rest of my other runs are quite short, so we've really got low volume, and I've also reduced the cross training I do. But yeah, that's what the structure looks like. I also apologise if I talk too fast because I do often get told that I talk too fast normally, but I'm just going to try slow it down. I just get excited, okay? But there's been quite a lot of questions about like races, goals, you know, do I have short-term, long-term goals? And I thought I'll just kind of merge them into one. So in terms of like short-term goals, well, right this second, obviously I'm resting up and preparing for the winter, but over the winter I will be hopefully doing some cross-country. Gonna try and qualify for the Eurocross, but it's such a high standard and I feel like I'm a sinker in the mud rather than a floater. You're either a floater or a sinker, and I think I sink. But I love hills, but British cross-country just doesn't really have any hills. It's all mud, which is a bit annoying, but we'll deal with it and see how that goes. If I have any niggles, I'm just going to do the road and not do any cross country, but I'm also going to try and aim to do Valencia 10k in January with the goal of going for a big PB there. So that are the main like short-term focuses. So the slightly longer like year plan, and yes, for you asking, I am aiming for the Commonwealth Games for Northern Ireland. I did them in 2022 when they're in Birmingham. Obviously that didn't enter plan. You can go back and watch my Who Am I video to learn a bit more about that and what happened there. But I am aiming to go back and redeem myself and run much better. I haven't yet got the times. I'm just off the 5k and I haven't yet run a 10k on the track, but my road time has gone under the standard. Just let that wind gush go. So that's definitely the big goal for the next year. Everything is sort of aiming towards that. All the winter we will be building towards getting some good times on the track to try and get there. cross your fingers for me, although it's not rely on luck. We don't need luck. We're just going to go and give it our all, and whatever happens, happens. But it's definitely possible. So I will be going for that. And then long term, like, I think it's important to have long-term goals, but your goals are always changing because you don't know what's going to happen in a year. I don't know where I'm going to be, and you've just got to keep adjusting. And I would love to go to the Olympics one day. I think every runner wants to. Wouldn't you be silly if you didn't try? So I will always try my best, but I don't feel like my career or my worth is defined by whether I get to the Olympics or not. I'm just going to try my best and have fun along the way, and wherever I get to is where I get to. I think the main other goal, which is so important, is just to make sure you have fun. If I'm having fun and I'm happy, I know I will run so much better than if I put loads of pressure on it and I'm just not enjoying it. So I try and do that all the time. I do a lot of training with my partner, and he just always keeps it fun, because outside of sessions we're not talking about running. Our life isn't all running, and I think it's healthy to have that divide and that break from running. So yeah, just keep having fun, enjoying it, and wherever I get to and see where it takes me. In all honesty, I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else, and I've loved running since I was tiny. I never thought of it as a career. Oh, I'm getting hit by a leaf branch tree. I never thought of it as a career, but it is, and I just want to make the most out of that. You have also asked me what do I do for work as well. So I do work as well alongside my running. I do get income from running, but it's not enough to, fund the life that you need. And I work for a lovely Danish company called Dilling, doing customer service, and I can do that all from home. It's remote, so I can take it wherever I need to. They're so understanding of my running, and just the nicest people you could work for. I've actually worked for them since I started uni, and they're just the nicest people ever. So I actually love working for them, and it allows me to do what I need to do with my training, and I don't feel restricted by it. So I think that's great. But if you need any merino wool clothing, go and check them out, because they will have you covered. We're gonna skip through the little water. Okay, I'm back from my walk. I'm a little bit windswept, but we're just gonna roll with it. I've had a few questions about mindset and racing, which is such a great question. And again, gonna blur those all into one. This is definitely something that has evolved over time as I've gained experience, but also through quite a lot of conversations with my coach. It's something that we've really come to speak about quite a lot. I've been with him over a year now, and there's a lot before racing that we will go into talking about the process, and I think that really massively helps. Previously, I would have gone into races with the idea of what I felt I could run based on training, and that would have been all I would have gone into it, just with the time. And that is never enjoyable, but also never really ends very well, because unless you run the time, you feel like you failed, and it doesn't really give you the opportunity to focus on the execution. So I've learned kind of over time that it's a lot more about execution and less about the result, because with execution comes the result. So I go into every race kind of thinking about how I'm going to run it and how I'm going to race it to the best of my ability, and whilst capitalizing on my strengths. And I think that allows me to run my best race, because if I focus on that and the execution, it becomes so much more fun and so much more exciting, and you're actually engaged in the race, and you're reacting to things, and you're running the race that is in front of you rather than the race that you want to run, and the results as a result take care of themselves. So I think it's not always going to end the way you want. It's not always going to end up with the result you want, but I always try and go into a race just thinking about the way I'm going to execute it and the way I'm going to run it, and take confidence based on the training that I have done. And yes, I always get nervous. I will always get nervous. I think no matter what race you do, nerves are always going to come into play, but that's a good thing, because that just to me says that I care, and I try and see those in a positive way. Don't let them run away with me. And if I do start to then over worry and get over nervous, I just remind myself of the hard work I've put in, and that speaks for itself and gives me the confidence that I need. So I think that is how I approach racing. Some people asked what are my opinions on processed foods. I think it just goes with everything. It's everything in moderation. I like to make things from scratch, and most of the time I will do that, but I will occasionally not do that, and I will eat some processed foods, but I just think they've all have their place in your diet. If you're going to eat completely processed foods, then obviously that's probably not going to be the best. But you can have them. They have their place. I have them. I enjoy them, and I don't deny myself anything. So if I want it, I'll eat it. But again, everything in moderation. I just keep plenty of food in there. That's the main thing for me, and keeping it all fresh and just tasty. I love enjoying my food. Since I had my wisdom teeth done, I literally just, for a few days I couldn't eat, and anything then I could eat was just mush, and I had to just put it in my mouth and swallow it. And I realised then how much I just enjoy food. I don't eat just for the sake of eating. Like, I eat because I want to enjoy it, and I love the taste of good tasty food. So yeah, anything, but all in moderation. And then a lot of people say, what do I eat in a day? That is quite a tricky question, because every day is different, and I don't have like a set thing that I do every single day, and it obviously varies depending on how hungry I am, where I am in my cycle. But I will have obviously like 3 big meals a day, and I would have about 2 snacks in between them. And my dinner will be like a hot cooked meal. For lunch, I do something like a brunch, so it might be like eggs and avocado on toast with some cottage cheese, a sandwich. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I love a sandwich, and if you don't, follow me on there, because that does give a good insight as well into what I eat, because I put up a lot of food pictures on my story. Breakfast tends to be toast, just because I know toast fills me up and gives me the energy that I need for my session. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm not a porridge fan, so I never have porridge. Through my teeth, I've been having a lot of Weetabix, but I've not actually been mad about that, because I kind of do like Weetabix, which sounds weird. But again, talking about how like my hunger can fluctuate depending on my cycles. Sometimes before I start, I'm like starving, and no matter what I eat, I just feel like I'm never full. So I just keep eating, because I think my body tells me what it needs, and if it's hungry, I'm obviously not giving it enough, so I need to give it more. And I think training with such like a high focus and intensity, you can do that. I can just eat whatever I want, and if my body says it's hungry, I'm going to feed it. So that's kind of as complicated as it gets. But yeah, based on my cycle, I've had a lot of people say, how did I get it back when I lost it? And for me at the time, I don't really know what's recommended. I know that different people recommend different things, but I was at the time going through my GP, so I didn't have the guidance of like a sports professional, and I was told to go on the pill. So I did go on the pill maybe for like a year, but I tried so many different ones, and they all just made me feel really gross. So in the end, I ended up coming off it, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to have a natural cycle or not, because obviously being on the pill, it's not a natural cycle. And thankfully, touch wood, since coming off it, I've had one every single month for like 7 years, 7 years, something like that. So that's how I got it back. What was the other? There was another period question, I can't remember. Oh, do I have any issues of osteoporosis from when I had disordered eating? No, thankfully I don't. I've had many DEXA scans, especially because I've had quite a lot of stress fractures. I've had DEXA scans just to keep on top of things and check that there's no problems. And thankfully my bones are all good and healthy. I'm so focused on looking after that now, and like my eating, I'm so focused on getting everything in. It's not about like what you can and can't eat, it's just everything in. So like plenty of calcium, plenty of protein, plenty of carbs, like healthy fats, just all of it. So I have such a complete diet that my body's not lacking anything. I also stay on top of regular blood tests just to make sure that I've got no deficiencies or anything that could lead into problems in the future, because I have had problems with low iron. So those are a way that I just make sure I'm always on top of everything and I'm always healthy. I'm going to start rounding off here because you guys don't really want to watch a like super long video of me just nattering at you. So I'm going to answer the last few questions. Oh my god, I have such bad like memory sometimes. I literally just looked at my phone to look at the questions I was going to answer, and now I can't even remember what the questions were. I'm not going to look, I'm going to remember them. Oh, how do I improve my 5k time, and also one about like form and technique and if I've worked on that. So I'll start with the form and technique. When I was younger, I had a running coach who in like senior school I'd see just once a week, and she kept it so fun. So she was the reason I kind of stayed in the sport, and we'd work on things like technique and do lots of drills based on form. So when I was younger, for a good few years, I was like did a lot of that base work. So now I don't really do anything like that, I just run. And I think sometimes if you change things too much when you get older, like you're just going to cause yourself problems. Obviously when I see my physio, if I've got things there, I work on strengthening certain areas, and that will, you know, probably in turn change your form. But I don't like consciously think about running differently or anything like that, because I just feel like I don't need to do that. I worked on that when I was younger and don't really need to do that now. I just think, yeah, if it's work, don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And also improving time. I just think it sounds so annoying, because people always said this to me and it just was never the answer I wanted to get, but it's so true. It is consistency. It's just time. Like, just keep putting the work in week after week after week, year after year after year, and those times will naturally come down. You might have a period where you just kind of plateau and you don't necessarily notice that drop going, but trust me, it will come. Just be patient. And sometimes the results don't reflect what's happening in training, and that's completely normal. Don't get frustrated or fight it, because it will come together at some point and you will be like, it'll be so much more worth it when it does happen. So just keep doing what you're doing. I think if you're not doing intervals and you're just doing easy running, definitely add in some interval training and like that faster end. So work on your 5k speed and a bit of maybe 3k speed as well if you can, for obviously shorter length reps. But then also like the longer, more tempo stuff does also have a place. So just get a wide variety in, but make sure you're like hitting all of your paces. And I think, you know, in time that's going to pay off and you will smash that 5k PB. But thank you so much for watching another YouTube video, and hopefully I will be back on it more now I can actually speak. And yeah, when training starts ramping up again, I've got another week of chilled, literally nothing, and then start going back to it, and I cannot wait. Oh yeah. Thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe.